Many hockey fans online have seemingly turned on the very popular podcast Spittin Chiclets. More specifically, a member named RA. Quickly to make this clear, I know some people on X are saying things like fire RA. I don't know how serious they are when they say that. I don't think Spittin Chiclets should do that. I think RA still provides like a cool connection back to the old school of Barstool, and he's just kind of a staple of the show, so I don't think they should fire him. But I do think some of the criticisms RA and Spittin Chiclets podcast in general have been getting in the last few days are legitimate. The latest controversy started when RA was trying to interview players of the Florida Panthers just after they won the Stanley Cup and was kind of getting the brush off.
No, fuck you! Fuck you! Why are you even out here? Fucking pro Oilers, the whole bandwagon jumping motherfucker. Fuck you. I'm done with it. Yeah, come on. I'm done with it. Wow.
Now, I'm not sure why RA is surprised because he's down there minutes after Florida just won the Cup. But here RA is, just a few days ago, cheering for the other team. But even though this flip-flopping of teams, like going from being this devout Oilers fan to supposed Panther fan in the span of like 3 days, I'll show a quick clip here of Ryan Whitney and RA discussing that. It doesn't really seem to be what actually fans of the podcast, fans Spittin Chiclets, actually seem to be upset about. But here's the clip of RA and Whitney going back and forth.
2019 Stanley Cup, I rooted for the Bruins for 7 games. They lost at home ice. I went down, I interviewed the Blues. I did my fucking job. I went down, I talked to Bortuzzo. I talked to Pat Maroon. I was a fucking professional. I went down and did what I was supposed to do.
All right.
So that's what I was doing this time.
All right. You had no voice either. That wasn't brought up. So you had zero voice, and you were going bananas for the Oilers the past, 10 days.
So the clip actually gets to what the issue actually appears to be, at least on Twitter, and then it's less about RA cheering for the Oilers and then going onto the ice after and kind of getting shooed away by Florida Panthers players and some staff like Sean Thornton there. That's actually kind of funny. At least I think that's funny. I think maybe Spittin Chiclets doesn't like that because maybe make their brand look good to certain players in the NHL, but I think that's actually pretty funny. It seems like what people are actually more upset about is just a little bit of degenerate behavior of kind of the drunkenness.
But dude, you can't tell me that you're a journalist and then you get blacked out and go down the ice. I'm not going to fucking sit here and let you say that. I'm sorry, dude.
I dispute that I was on everything under the sun and that I was blacked out. So whatever. We can argue all day.
All right, you slept on the beach. You slept on the beach, dude.
Yeah, because it took me 2 hours to get out of that arena to get home.
So as funny it is to hear someone in their 50s or 50, however old RA is, justify sleeping on the beach. This, I think, is what people have an issue with, is just lack of professionalism, whatever you want to call it, seemingly being a little bit too out of control. Now, Spittin Chiclets sells alcohol. You could see that on this video. They're advertising their alcohol, Pink Whitney, so it may be difficult for the show to just flat out tell RA, hey, stop drinking. Not that they would necessarily want to say that. I don't know them, but it's kind of hard to have that message when you're also on the screen advertising alcohol, so it's kind of tough, but I think this is what fans have an issue with, is just maybe have a drink or two, but this seems to be, again, I'll show the Twitter posts here. So now on Spittin Chiclets Twitter here, and these are some new posts. I haven't even seen these, but it seems like the fans of this podcast are not happy with RA at the moment. So here we got this post here from an hour ago. Let's see the comments. Again, I haven't even looked at these yet. Fire RA. Someone get Grandpa to bed. See, they're kind of saying, go to Alcoholics Anonymous. The recent content has been incredibly cringe. Again, I haven't seen these. I'm not going to read all of them, but I love the pod, but have to tune out when RA talks. I mean, I'm trying not to be too negative toward him. I don't want them to, I want him to get a chance to just be better on the podcast. I don't think they should get rid of the guy. I mean, it's just talking about hockey. He can figure it out. But I do agree with the sentiment that when you watch the show, it does seem like it's got a little bit it has gotten down a rabbit hole, not rabbit hole, but it's gone down a path of being a little bit too much of a clown show. This one's actually from Barstool. So yeah, this is here getting escorted out of the locker room, apparently. Can you see that really? Yeah, there he is. Yeah, there's Kachuk. I think that's Matthew Kachuk going, see ya. So here's some posts now from Paul Bissonnette, who's the kind of like the main, maybe not the main guy, but probably the most popular person on that podcast. RA ain't going anywhere. He stood his ground, so let's, whatever, basically defending him. And then, yeah, like, I think this is probably the post I saw that made me want to make this video, or one of these posts like that, but truthfully, it was not great content. This person here, at least get him the help he needs. This guy here, that's like the top reply, actually, the most likes, the most views. He might not be going anywhere, but a lot of listeners will be. I'm already listening to 2 other hockey pods before this one. I used to religiously get excited for Chiclets. Now I could care less. RA is cringe. No one agrees, Biz. Sorry, man. This one, RA is the sole reason I stopped listening to Chiclets. Used to listen to Chiclets religiously. Another guy saying similar thing here, but haven't listened in months. Part of the reason is RA. The other is the 4-hour episodes. He just sucks, Biz. Listen to the fans. So I'm going to go back here because there's another thing here that I don't think this is like a shit post. I think he's being serious about this. I don't know, but clicking on this. Yeah, rein it in, bud. It's funny once or twice to have someone go overboard. When it's like this consistent in public, someone needs to help. I assume he's one of your best friends. Help the guy who's not well. Yeah, I keep seeing this kind of sentiment here. Chiclets are starting to fade. Got to be honest. The boys are starting to get a little too loose. I would agree with that. Like, it does seem like it was the best hockey podcast, and it probably still is, but so I think you get the idea. It looks like a lot of their fans are not very happy. Again, Twitter, you never really know. People just kind of post the most inflammatory thing they can on Twitter to try to get some engagement. So perhaps lots of people that are like, fire RA, do this, they might just be saying that, trying to get a top comment. I don't want them to fire him. I don't think, like, to be honest, when I watch the show, he's not my favorite, but maybe this will be like beneficial long-term to the show. For what I would suggest happen, this is my opinion, this is my just suggestion, so take it for what it is. One random dude on YouTube with a small YouTube channel. I think it'd be interesting if RA, after this kind of negative attention he's getting on Twitter and just the internet in general, if he did somewhat of a little bit more wholesome arc, like get to the gym more often and then try to lay off some of these habits, because they know they joke around, they always say they're joking, but I'm not sure to what degree they're joking, that they do all these kind of they do all this partying on the side, or he tells a story about taking all these different things to fly and stuff like that, like to make the flight go better. I'm not exactly sure what he's alluding to when he says all that stuff, but it'd be maybe interesting for the show if RA got a little bit healthier and perhaps the content got a little more wholesome. I know they still have to sell alcohol, so I'm sure they're not going to all go completely sober forever, but that'd be my suggestion. To get the show better, it's just a little bit less of a clown show, a little bit less of this party atmosphere all the time, because these guys aren't in their 20s anymore. I think that's kind of what, for me, makes it a little bit hard to watch at times. Now, final thoughts. Even though I think in the last few months the show has gotten a little bit off the rails, it's still super funny. Paul Bissonnette and Ryan Whitney are still both hilarious. For being former athletes, they're both very funny, like almost to the level of probably a comedian. And I like Granelli. I like RA too. I don't want them to get rid of RA. I think that some of the criticism he's getting, though, is legitimate, other than the ones that are just going overboard saying fire him. I don't think they should do that, but I think the show could be a little bit more wholesome. Maybe the whole cast of the show can get a little bit more healthy, a little bit less partying. Still selling some alcohol, though, I guess, because that's what they have to do. With that said, thanks for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have a good day.